everybody. And as you can see, we're all smiles this morning on the Full Spectrum podcast. And I know we're very pumped up. We've all been chatting off camera, and I know that we're looking forward to this week's topic, which I'm sure will bring out some interesting discussions and hopefully some great follow-up banter. Magnus, welcome again to the show.
Hi, guys.
Hopefully all is well with M26Fit, mate. Can't wait to hear more about that. Our hosts, Mr. Robert Haugh and Mr. Serge Romano. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Thank you. Gentlemen.
Listen, we're all going to talk about potentially our brands or other brands today. So that brings us to this week's topic, the power of brand. Very diverse, very widespread topic. We could really take this conversation anywhere. So I might lead the team off just to not put anyone on the spot. And if you guys are excited and ready to go, that'll be good. So, guys, the power of brand. I just want to talk about, just do it, or Nike, as it's well known. It'd be easy for me to sit here and talk about full spectrum education, full spectrum health, and everything that we're doing. I just feel that this story will encapsulate what I really like to tell people about brand and what it can do for people in the community. So if you have a prominent brand, if you are looking to get into business and you want to talk about brand, the three gentlemen in this podcast with me are very well positioned to talk to you about that. So listen to their stories today, guys. But my story is about a young gentleman that I'm working with in the western suburbs of Sydney. For privacy reasons, I won't mention the school or his name, but what I will mention is he's a fantastic young man, and the best part of my week at the moment is actually working with him every week. My 90 minutes with him every week is just lights me up. So, guys, he is from a very, we'll call it non-affluent family. So they're not financially well off. But what I do want to highlight is they have a heart. Some of the people in the family, this boy included, have a heart of gold. Okay. So because of that, he believes that Nike is, as the Michael Jordan film that's out at the moment will back up, is the best thing ever. So for those of us who have our opinions on Nike, good, bad, or indifferent, the point is this boy loves it, right? Fantastic. So that brand is connected with him. So guys, what's happening is us at Full Spectrum Education, we're going to be giving this boy a little Nike voucher on Friday, and we're going to be giving him an opportunity to sort of live that brand and really invest in himself. And we look forward to the things that will ignite inside of him because of that little present from us. So guys, the power of brand and the impact it can have, whether it be from a personal, individual, or company perspective. Very excited to hear all of your thoughts today. So who would like to go next?
I'll jump in, Ben.
Magnus, take it away.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I think that you're looking at it from a professional perspective, you're looking at it from a personal perspective. Either way, what I feel is important is it's the reputation. I think that with brands and prominent brands, like you just mentioned with Nike, and what those brands stand for. And obviously I'm building a brand at the moment, and I think it's important to maintain that authenticity and honesty of what that brand stands for. And if you're able to maintain that moving forward, I think that's very powerful. A previous company I worked for, they'd been around since the 50s, and we went through a business development stage, and I leveraged off their reputation to build on that business because it had a great reputation for over 50 years. So yeah, maintaining that authenticity and honesty, and what you stand for is what you stand for. And I believe that'll hold you in good stead if you're looking at building a brand. And I think that the brands around at the moment that people leverage off, whether it be in whichever sector, safety, but reputation, I think, is everything to a brand.
Well said. That's a very, very succinct way to put it. And I think for all the listeners out there, if you've got more question around branding for Magnus, please get in touch with him in the handles below after this podcast. Rob, Serge, who's feeling passionate, who's feeling excited to talk about this?
I'll go. I speak about this often in my world. and people gravitate to brands for all different reasons, right? Whatever the brand may be in whatever sector of the community it's in, whether it's, fashion, sporting, business, finance, hospitality. We all know and understand all the brands around us, right? But the thing that I talk about often is personal brand, and the importance of making sure that people understand that even though you've got a significantly large brand or well-known brand that you either work with or work for or whatever, you've got to understand that people can tarnish that reputation, as Magnus said, just like that. I'm thinking Magnus because I'm thinking, like the cricketer there for a minute. Sorry about that. So exactly what Magnus said, right? So it's all about it's all about reputation, and people need to understand that their personal brand is as important as the brand itself. And you've got to make sure that you uphold that personal brand, even though potentially the brand that you're with may not necessarily be one that you either, like or want to work with forever or whatever the case may be. My advice always to people is maintain your personal brand. Make sure that you stay with integrity and ethics and making sure that you're doing the things that you do with and upholding those things consistently. And you can't go too wrong in life if you're maintaining your own personal brand and making sure that people can depend on you and can rely on you and can say, hey, I've done business with that person, I've worked with that person, I've lived with that person, I'm friends with that person, and they have an integrity piece around them that is no other. If you can achieve that, I think that that's probably one of the most important brands that you can have.
I have to agree with that. That's very, very well said, Serge. It's particularly now with social media, it's all of our personal lives are exposed, and maintaining that integrity and that honesty and that authenticity. Mate, well said.
I'm going to, before Rob jumps in, I'm going to just dive into, a quote from a good friend of mine. People don't do business with businesses, they do business with people.
That's
Pretty
it.
much sums it up, doesn't it? Rob, take it away, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, hard acts to follow. I mean, branding and all the business sort of side of things, like it's not my bread and butter, but it's something I'm more and more about. And brand is certainly one of those things I've learned about going through. Now, you talk about Nike. I'm a Nike man. I would love the get that little Nike voucher as well. I'm a big.
You better send him one, Ben.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think I just heard the Christmas partnerships tips. What I'll be sending to Inspire.
Yeah, I'm a big Jordan fan. I'm a big Michael Jordan fan. So, and I'll tie this into kind of the way I'm going to go about it. But Michael Jordan, he pretty much made Nike. If anyone who's watched, as you said, the movie Air,
that's right.
Nike is not Nike without Michael Jordan. What things that I've learned, I 100% agree with Serge. I mean, that personal brand absolutely comes into it. And if I take it from my own perspective, I work within a company called Inspire Health Services, as everyone knows, which has an outstanding brand within the Brisbane area. It's very well known. And I always think a brand is what's the first thing that comes to mind when you say the name? Like, what's the first thing you think of when you say Nike? You immediately think of the best. You immediately think of sports. You immediately think of Michael Jordan. You immediately think of Serena Williams. You think of Roger Federer. You think of all these guys and all these women who are at the tops of their game. Inspire is kind of thought of that in the same way, I believe. And if it's not just yet, it will be. And my sort of goal and the way I think of it is how the way I go about every day is how do I build my brand to align with Inspire and help grow the brand, help grow not only my own personal brand, because if I grow that, it will also grow the business's brand as well. So not only what's the brand of going to see Rob the physio and what's the brand of going to Inspire Health Services? Those are the two things that I think about. And I think about what do people think when they hear that, when they say I'm going to see Rob, when I'm going to Inspire, what do they think of at that time? What's the first thing that pops into your head? I think that's what branding is kind of all about, just to make it in a real short, sharp sort of way. And to build on that, like reputation, absolutely. I think that's, professionalism, integrity. If you're talking about a product, you're talking about, does it withstand? Does it do what it says it's going to do? All big things. And I think to extend upon that, if you want to have a great brand, you got to be really, really good. It's got to perform really, really well. And it's got to be unique in some aspect. So, looking at Michael Jordan, I mean, Nike doesn't get to where it is if Michael Jordan doesn't win 6 championships and is regarded as not only probably the best basketball player ever, but one of the best athletes and competitors ever. He brought that whole aspect to Nike. And if he was just a run-of-the-mill player, he would have been a great contributor to Nike, but Nike wouldn't be where it's at. So you always got to keep trying to build upon your skill level. You got to keep trying to be unique and trying to think of, and when I say be unique, I mean, be yourself for the most part, because everyone is generally unique, but try and stay true to yourself and just always keep trying to elevate your skill level, and that will build your brand.
I think it's been well said from all 4 of us today. So this show, guys, if you'd like to get in touch with us, there's probably a lot of follow-up and a lot of value that can be added from 3 gentlemen in this podcast and myself. Please get in touch with us. We'd love to hear more from you. Looking forward to it. Whether you're from Inspire Health's audience, Leverage Sales audience, Magnus's M26Fit audience, when you see this podcast, or the Full Spectrum audience, feel free to email any one of us, call us directly. We'd love to hear from you. Guys, it's been another great show, and I know I'm excited for the last episode of the series next week, and I cannot wait to finish off this series with a bang. So until then, have a great week, and we'll see you all next week, team.